Alrighty, so we just sent Michael off to Windora with the fuel out of Neil and my bikes to get him there with all of our bladders on so he can fuel up and come back and then we can make it there, only to find out that Windora does not have fuel. So since we're at Betoota again, we're just going to do a run around on our 3 bikes and our setups for this trip, which is going to be about a 6,500 k trip. So this is Michael's 1290 setup, so why don't you explain your setup on the bike, Michael?
Yep, so this trip was an easy trip. We were basically getting down to the Flinders as quickly as possible by some easy dirt roads, and then we were going to stay in accommodation while at the Flinders and Arkaroola, where we could offload all of our gear. We were camping, so there's a camping bag on there, and then we could go and ride, unload it around the Flinders, and then we were just doing an easy ride back up the Strzelecki and home. So
run us around what's in your different bags.
So yeah, so I've packed for comfort and social activities. So this bag is my complete camp setup. So everything to do with camping is in that bag. So if I'm not camping, I don't need that bag.
That's a 40 litre bag?
40 litre bag, yep.
Yep.
This bag here is my, basically, because it sticks out further, it's easy to get to. Everything I need during the day is sort of in this bag, as in I have my riding gear in the bottom, I have shoes in there, and I have any riding gear that I need during the day, gloves and things like that, and my snacks and lunchtime stuff. And then I've got a bladder in the end pocket here. I've got a bottle to fill with beer or mixers. I normally have a 4 litre water in there, and then I have a rum bottle underneath there. This one is my tail bag that stays on everything, so that's got all my servicing equipment. So if there's wets jammed in there, I do have a full remote first aid kit as a part of my OHS stuff for the tours. Nearly ate some protein. Air compressor, tyre ropes, kits, the whole bits and pieces to do with that, poop bag and those bits and pieces, tool roll, tubes, and then this bag is my sort of like, because it's narrow it fills out more, so it's my sort of end of the day bag. So it's got my breakfast and dinners, it's got my cook gear, cup, and then it has my camp clothes and then cold weather gear in that one there. And again, in the back here I've got stuff to deal with the chain, rags, fuel additives, things like that. I've got a litre of Stones green ginger wine goes under there, and then I've got another 4 litre in here. I'm running this tank bag. She's got 1.5 litres of water that I keep in there as backup. It holds all my camera gear, batteries, just personal items I need like fly nets and extra phone, that's not my work phone, and just cables and bits and pieces, wallet, all that sort of stuff. So that's pretty much that.
Alrighty, let's pull a couple of bags out and see what's in them.
Okay, so the main one is the camp bag. I'm set up and packed up before everybody else because I've got a bit of a system to it under this beaver tail.
And he gets up at like 6 a.m.
But I don't start before you guys. That holds my hat, so my hat sits in there. On top is a dedicated pocket for the
10 poles.
10 poles. And in here I do carry a little hammer, and my pegs are up in there, so they all fit in there rather nicely. And then because your bike always leans over to the left and this side is a little bit wider, I always pack it from this end, and I pack it in the order that I need things. So I do have a few straps up here for when I put the fuel bladder on top, but my footprint sits in there. That's the first thing out with the poles, with the pegs, sorry, and I'll stake that out. The next thing out is my tent. So that's the inner to my tent. 9 times out of 10 I only have to put the inner up because it's quite an expensive tent and it fully zips up and it works as a single skin tent. That's the fly if I need it, so if I'm ever packing up and it's wet, I can keep the inner and outer separate. The next thing out, on the bottom is the cot. Good night's sleep's important. Corresponding mat that works really well with that particular cot. Table and chair. I use them to help packing in reverse, and then right down the other end you'll find sleeping bag and pillow, and that's the way it goes out. So that's everything in that bag. Weighs about 15 kilos.
What does your total setup weigh, and how many litres of
with water? With water and fuel and everything, including my backpack, which is over there, which has got 3 litres of water in it. I estimated 75 kilos, somewhere around that. But the bike handles it.
Yeah.
I don't slow you down, and we won't do anything hard. So. Okay, so day bag. So, like I said, I fit a 4 litre dromedary bag in there. And it's empty at the moment. Underneath is rum. In the back, things that I need. So I can either put a couple of Torleys, 3 stubbies, or a 1.25 litre mixer in there, and it'll keep cold till camp. Fuel bladder.
Some people also put water in
For when
their
we
bladders
can
and
buy
things.
fuel.
You know.
A few extra straps in the bottom. You never know when they come in handy. And then into the top. So, heated jacket. That's a plug-in heated jacket. Super warm for when you're just doing those homeline miles and cold. That's lunches and coffees. That's just a tiny little bag of extra riding layers and gloves and bits and pieces. Shoes, slip-on shoes. That's my riding gear. There's 4 sets of everything in there: socks, undies, shirts, and my togs and towel.
How big is that bag? Has that got a big bottom on it?
That's a big bottom bag.
It's just packed like.
It's like a TARDIS.
It is. Okay.
Oh no. Play catch now. Okay. Left bag. So this is the home bag. Again, I carry what do we got here? Another 4 litre water bladder. Underneath.
We're going to need this whole thing. We're going to have to repack this.
Yeah, it doesn't take long. Stone screen ginger wine for when the beer's shit.
I'm sensing a theme with your low-hanging bags and your backpack.
Seem to have a lot of alcohol, mate.
Yeah.
Oh,
Chain fixer.
Can't really drink that.
Wow.
No, you probably slip it.
Depends
Fuel
how long
additive.
you've been here.
I don't know. It's, I think I'll tell you what you guys here.
Rags and the tags will cut off your gloves. A couple of rags.
Yeah,
A bag full of nitrile gloves for doing work.
Yeah, I only need fuel additive if you can get fuel.
Right. What's left of breakfast and dinners, and my cutlery, my cup, washing up gear, cooker.
Oh, yeah, so that does actually, that's not too bad, eh?
No, it packs up all right.
Okay. Mosquito, isocol, hand sanitizer, and blend 20 for your riding pants so they don't stink.
Personal lubricant.
That's it.
Don't worry, mate.
That helps the tyres go on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's my cold weather bag, so I only take that if there's cold weather. Plates, haven't used the plates. Good catch. toiletries bag in, and my towel is inside that. And then round the world set of camp clothes. Everything contained in that.
Got shorts in there.
Shorts. I've got short shorts.
Short shorts. I like short shorts. Wow.
And
Alright.
then, and so when we're brapping.
Oh yeah, you got a big smashed one on this side, haven't you?
Yeah.
Is it this side?
That's it. They would be full and just take them inside like that.
That's where it got broken, isn't
Job done. Yeah. And then
Still hanging tough.
I generally ditch the ditch the tank bag for when we're riding around because I just use my backpack. Just tie these straps up, and then I've got the tool roll and tubes if we have an oopsie, and then this is the tail bag that stays on all the time with all basically stuff you may need. So again, I bought an extra tube because my front wheel's leaking. Compressor, poop shovel and toilet tickets. What's that called? Jumper cables. Rope kit with patches, glue. Couple of shots of slime. This is bigger than a lot of people are going to carry, but full remote service for large groups. First aid kit.
Any morphine in there?
Endone, tramadol, naloxicon, no cocaine. Helmet cleaner after we ride hard, and my wet.
Just open up your first aid kit. I'll come around the other side.
This weighs 2 kilos, but as a tour operator, it's part of what you've got to carry. So everything labelled, everything easy to find, and this is the remote module. Again, open up, everything easy to find. Added a tourniquet in, comes with all the whistle, signal mirror, torch that you need in a remote kit. Everything's labelled, so if you have an accident, even if it's yourself, you can direct people to what you need. So burns, multi-use for either snake bites and things like that, hydrogels, everything's in there. You've also got the instruction cards for people to use, which makes it really easy. Anything red is for wounds. You've got your CPR mask, you've got your saline, so it's going to handle, you know, just about everything. And then you can add your personal, so that, you know, there's like Panadol and stuff like that. And then there's the heavy stuff to be used only under doctor's instructions. So
Cool.
and that's a splint, so that rolls out and helps something if they're broken or
Just to immobilise.
snake bite or something like that. So
Yep.
yeah. Oh, and the only other one we didn't touch on was a backpack. So PLB on the back, satellite communicator on the front.
Thank goodness for that. Otherwise, right now, Michael would be riding to Windora for fuel, and they're out of fuel.
Just sit there. But I have everything. So because my bike's keyless, my house keys and car keys are in there, so they're always on me. So I never leave my backpack because my bike won't start. SD cards. Oh yeah, my little travel glasses from Daiso, so I can read. I've got a couple of these stashed. Got them stashed in the tank bag. They just like that. See what I'm doing.
Maybe
Yeah.
that lady over there could use some.
Yeah, a couple of wipers, 3 litres of water, and fire extinguisher.
It's a dildo, it's not a fire extinguisher.
Yeah. So
It's a bit rough.
So again, part of the OH&S requirements to carry, and it's the smallest, most efficient fire extinguisher I can find.
Okay, so while I'm going to video everything to show what can be packed on a bike, can you pull your thing out and tell us how much those side bags and everything were loaded up? So basically, this is all the stuff from the back one. This is all the stuff from the right hand one.
Yeah.
This is all the stuff from the left hand one. And this is all the stuff from the rear one.
Like when we do other stuff, I do go smaller.
Yeah.
I have smaller stuff, but
Yeah.
just with the
But this is this trip.
the
This is
1290 it doesn't need to.
this is a 6,500 K trip. We knew where we were going, what we were riding on.
So yeah, I've got a proper set of scales, and I think it's on. Here we go. So the tail bag full weighed 6.59 kilos. The duffel bag weighed 14.95. The fuel bladder full of fuel weighed 6.26. The left pannier weighed 16.18. The right weighed 13.91. The tank bag weighed 4.76, and the back weighed 4.7. Now the only thing with that is that was 67.35, but I hadn't put the two 4-litre bladders into each pocket, so that added roughly 8 kilos.
Yep.
So 67.35 plus 8 was around about 75 kilos total.
Yep.
Plus my fat ass,
All right.
and it didn't care.
No, I rode it and it handled it like it wasn't even there. It is set up very, very well. Alrighty. Well, while Michael packs this stuff up, we have to point out that this is Colonel Coleman Adventures, and Michael's going to be running those adventures, which is part of the reason why he's got the full first aid kits and fire extinguishers and carrying everything. Is Michael wanted to find out if he could carry all this stuff comfortably, keep up with normal riders on normal bikes with a normal load, which is more like Neil and myself, and you know, the 1290 was more than up to the task. Just had a couple of minor tyre issues with running tubeless, but Michael plugged the rear one really quickly and just put a bit more pressure in the front one. It stayed up. So let's get Neil's bike over and start getting it ready while Michael puts all this away, and then we'll have a look at my lighter weight setup. Neil and Michael both run the Moscow gear, which is bulletproof. Like we said, that stuff could come off and it would be fine. I've gone a budget option, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, so that's 8 minutes and 30 seconds from fully unpacked to fully packed.
Pretty much.
Pretty good. Alrighty, so Betoota part 2, Neil's gear. So Neil also runs the Moscow gear. Same size as Michael's?
Yeah, it's always like the same, yeah.
Same size and same size?
40 litre and 35.
35. So what's your just general breakdown of the 3 bags?
I don't really have any real organised, it's not really set up for one for camping or whatever, but the duffel has my sleeping cot, chair, table. I got a pair of slip-on boots in there, pizza maker, a bread,
Espresso machine.
my tools, not tools, air compressor, tyre repair stuff.
Easy to get to.
Yeah, and then I got tool roll with tyre levers, some sockets and whatever.
Yep.
On the Perrin racks, which fit with these Touratech racks, I had to modify them a little bit.
Yep.
On this side I've got tubes and then another obviously pannier, but this one has I usually put water. I've got a 4 litre water MSR. There's just some extra straps. Then we have that in there. So that's some rice. Oh, you like fried rice?
Laid lace.
Which, you know, yeah, if you're in a pinch, you can eat them. So the left pan here, I've got my tent. I've got a big bag full of charging stuff, and I'll get to that in a minute, which I didn't need to really bring. Toilet 2 bag, something like stuff like that. So we'll start with the big one. We'll take this out of here, and each one of these bags I weighed, and they were probably they were around 12 kilos each.
Right.
But that wasn't including, you know, you put 4 litres of water, that's 4. Plus
Yeah.
I've got another litre in the bag.
Yep.
A litre of bourbon.
So how many litres of fuel can you carry, and how many litres of water can you carry with your setup?
My fuel bladder is a giant loop. It's a 3 gallon, and I bought this a few years ago now. But it was the only one they had, that's why I got such a big one. We don't really need it. I give it to Mike, he fills it up. But it's better to be too big than too small, so I've been told. I've got a tarp that goes under my tent. It can also be used just to put up as a shelter or fix a tyre on or whatever.
Yep.
So we'll put all this shit up. Yeah.
Yep.
And then tent poles in there, and I've got a little windbreak for my gas stove in there as well. A little fold out aluminium jobby. Spare filters, which again I probably didn't need to bring as many, but you never know. And they don't really, they're a bit bulky. But so that's my
Uh-oh, can of Red Bull strikes again.
oh, I know what it is. It's those wet wipes. The wet wipes are
Weeping.
leaking. Shit. I don't know why.
What's that?
I got a big.
What is that?
They're wet wipes. Trust me.
It
That's
looks
all.
like a nappy.
It could be. I wouldn't look in there if I was you.
Love tickets. Use love tickets.
Yeah, well, the man gets lonely on the road.
It's a long, long trip.
Yeah.
The sheep are starting to look good.
Cooking stuff. There's a gas cooker in there. The cup inside. There. I've got a boot.
Dust boot.
That's cool.
I should undo these straps. It's probably easier.
Probably. Yeah.
What else have we got here? Oh, I got a beanie. It's a Ike Riley Assassination, one of the greatest bands in the world. You've probably never heard of. Just get that plug in there for Mike and the boys. Beanie, I camp him out all the time. Pretty much empty fuel canister, which is pretty much useless. The other boot, and here's the key to the whole operation. It looks like a water bottle, but don't drink this
Don't
water.
ever drink out of that
I'm not
water
even
bottle.
going to let you touch
That's the
that.
yellow snow container.
Yeah, that's the best part about camping, when you don't have to get out of your tent in the middle of the night when you've got a small bladder. And you just need to take a piss. Best part, would recommend. They're a bit big and bulky, but man, you get such a good night's sleep. Don't worry about what sort of ground you're on. You're on a comfortable stretcher. A little table, and a chair, because you know you want to be comfortable.
It's like the TARDIS, these things, eh? These boys with these Moscow things. That's it. Yep.
Just some sort of juice.
Yeah. Just wet wipe juice.
Yeah. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, they not only keep the water out, they keep the cans of Red Bull in.
Yeah, we'll get to that story in a minute with the backpack, but a couple of extra things for the food ackies. The left pannier here I've got, and for some reason I can never ever, I'm not like Michael where it goes back in order, and every time I pack up it seems to be different. So I've just got some shower stuff, toothbrush, whatever in there. Some soap. I Just some extra tea bags and coffee and some soup if we ever get stuck. Some cigars.
Yep. Yep. What you gonna do?
What sort of kilometres do you get out? I think
Just some pills, because pills are good. And then this is the bag in question. I've just got like some charger shit in there, and I'll show you what we're going to go into that. But we'll see. Just a little clamp, ball mount, some ship tickets, another little bag with something. I think it was some extra GoPro mounts that I haven't even used my GoPro. Some old drill. Thanks Qantas for the bag. One rubber glove. Sleeping mat which I popped and now it's got a big goiter in it. It's pretty uncomfortable to sleep on. It's tent pegs, steel tent pegs, so they go in the hard ground. My tent.
Tent or sleeping bag?
That's a tent. And that's the fly for the tent.
Oh yeah.
There's a towel. Little camp sort of towel. Just an extra dry bag, like for dirty laundry or rubbish or whatever from a camp or whatever. So I just carry. I don't take up space. You could put water in it if you had to from a creek or something. Whatever that is. Soft coffee. Yeah, so in the back, and then in the back one I've got a extra Moscow tie down and just a long ram mount. Got the nozzle for my gas bag. Put bourbon in that. It's empty at the moment. Just some rubbish actually, I'll just throw that out. And then in this one I've got a FPV drone which I bought on this trip, hence the reason why it's got a bit extra bulk. So that's the controller, has a battery, those are the goggles. I'll take them out of the bag in a minute, take it for a rip. Propellers because you can't leave the props on it. Extra pair of gloves. A good stabbing knife for in the middle of the night. If someone's trying to break in, you can defend yourself or just stab things.
I needed that for the goats the other day, coming up having a nibble in the night.
Well, those dingoes the other night, I slept with it handy.
Yeah, the dingoes were howling 2 nights ago.
This is more for the drone, the battery for the goggles and the power cables. I left that out of the toolkit thinking I was going to tighten my chain, but I haven't had to tighten it. Hatchet, use it to bash tent pegs or people or whatever. No, the batteries in that just loose because we just stop on the side of the road and I get my drone out. That's my clothes. Normally these clothes would be in here and I would just be wearing a t-shirt, like a riding shirt and my riding gear. And then, you know, these pants and everything will be in here. I've just got one set of thermals, 2 pairs of riding socks, which I wash every 2 days, maybe. And 2 pairs of regular socks, 1 t-shirt, and I just bought this one, Betoota. And that's basically all of my clothes. And I was riding the other day and I thought it was a dead kangaroo, but it was actually me. This is the bag that blows up the air mattress, and then in here I've actually just got a liner for my sleeping bag, which is the cotton sort of liner. And then, speaking of sleeping bags, sleeping bag, which is a, I don't know, Sea to Summit 600 minus, goes to Comfort Zero or something. It's alright. That's it for that one. And then in the front one here, I won't get it out, but there's like a Tupperware container that has coffee and muesli bars and breakfast stuff and whatever snacks we want to use. And then on this side I have another one of those Yeti containers full of water, but it's actually inside. And I actually bought some chain lube, which, you know, if we get back on the highway I'm going to lube up the chain. And that's a plastic bag with plastic bags inside of plastic bags, just in case for little bits of rubbish. And that's pretty much it. I've got a tank bag. It's got an iPad, snacks, some beef jerky, some lollies, and fly net, whatever in it. And then I have a phone, a shitted phone. It's an old iPhone 7, which I use, and then the InReach tire pressure monitor, the old Garmin XT there. That's the light switch for my auxiliary lights, so I can turn them down.
Let's just have a demo of those lights, Neil, because I've seen them coming, both of your bikes, from miles away.
Yeah. So, you know, that's high beam. I think it's on a daytime running light at the moment.
Yeah.
So the daytime running light, I've got to turn down to, you can actually turn them off.
So they're Denali's. Yep, that's off.
You can turn them down or up.
Yep.
But yeah, they're, you know, you got to pretty much give up a kidney for them, and I've got the controller, which I can program them with. But you haven't been caught out in the dark yet, but one day we will, and we'll be brighter than the sun. So yeah, basically about 12 kilos a bag.
Yep.
And that's not including the water,
No.
obviously, and the bourbon. But
So how many litres of water total do you carry?
well, I never usually fill this right up. I'll probably have 3 litres in there, plus 2 litres in my jacket.
Yep.
Plus like 700 ml in the other one.
You have
So
water in
use-
your tank bag?
No, there's no bladder in that.
Yep.
So, but yeah, 4 litres.
And
Depends.
how big's your backpack? How heavy?
Oh, the backpack is over here. Yeah, the
Yeah.
backpack's got this in it. This has got the drone in it.
And the drone footage, I'll insert a little bit here. It has been super cool.
I've got a MacBook Air Mini or something, whatever, which something's playing up. It's not reading the SD cards. So I've just put this in a dry bag and wrap it in a towel. Tea towel is the best I could come up with, because it doesn't really fold up. So that's the FPV drone, the DJI. And then, you know, you put propellers on it, you turn it on, makes this weird noise.
Coming to take over the world.
Yeah, and
Check it out.
it rips along.
All the cameras and sensors, and look down, look forward,
Yeah.
avoidance. And how fast have you had it on this trip?
I've had it up to 100 kilometres an hour, chasing you guys.
It is crazy, eh? Because you just hear this meow behind you.
And I don't know-
Nearly hit us in the back of the helmet
Yeah.
a couple of times.
So I'll insert some footage here. But, alright, no, that's a good setup. So you're saying about 36 kilos for your luggage plus 4 litres of water? And
be somewhere. It'd be close to 40 kilos all up,
40-ish? Yeah, okay.
I'd imagine. Plus, like,
Plus your-
this is like 960 grams, just
Yeah,
that.
so a kilo, and a laptop, so
Yeah, it's a fair bit. Like, it's more.
Probably more like 50 odd.
50-ish. Yeah. 43 or 4 or 5. Okay. And when you're just doing a trail ride, your bags come off super quick.
Yeah, the same as Michael. What I do is I
Bit jealous about that.
I put the drone in the backpack and I put the backpack in here.
Yeah.
And then
And these bags off.
they come off.
The tools and
The
tubes stay on.
And then I have also my orange bag with tools in it.
Yep.
In there, which we take if we just do a day ride.
Yeah.
So.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, but like you don't need a stretcher or chair or anything like that.
But they're nice to have if you've got the room.
It's comfortable. The one thing is that KTM bag full of fucking battery shit.
Yep.
That's
Didn't need to come.
I don't know why. I bought like 4 of the same cable for some reason.
Oh.
Too much better acid in the 80s.
All right.
That's it, all packed.
Righty. So I've gone for the seriously budget options for my luggage, and also tried to pack smaller and lighter to make this trip. I would have ideally liked these to be down a little, but they're as far forward as they can be, so I can still stand and put the back of my boot against the support. I've got the Nelson Rig tank bag, which is under repair, so it's got a zip tie holding it there where this one tag has made a bid for freedom. Inside that I've got a litre of water, wet weather, warm gloves, some chargers, SD cards, tool for adjusting the suspension and the water down the bottom there. In the top bag, that's a $75 bag from Third Gear. It is not waterproof, but it does have a waterproof cover there, which has got a little strap, and if you can make that work, you're better than me. On this side, I've got my rubbish left over from the last camp, so always pack your rubbish out with you. I've got a 2 litre bladder, and this 1.5 litre full of water goes into there, so I've got 3.5 litres of water there and 1 litre of water in my bag. This side, I've got my shoes and two socks usually pack in there, and these thongs usually pack in there. In the top, it's a little bit of a TARDIS. I've got my wet weather Chirby's overpants and wet weather gloves with waterproof liners in there. And got my toiletries bag in there, which includes my electric shaver for the old chrome dome. And these are all my clothes. So I pack a lot more clothes than Neil, and I put them in a plastic bag so that anything that's inside the plastic bag is clean, and anything outside the plastic bag in the 2 little sides is ready for laundry.
That took me back to working at the meatworks and gutting a cow. That did, trying to get that out.
Yeah, well, I don't take it out, I take the bag off, but I just thought I'd show
What a mess!
my clothes.
You were ragging on me for what I take, you muppet.
Wow, I didn't realise.
You take all those clothes and yet you just wear 1 pair of shorts and 1 singlet the whole time.
Yeah.
Get your food bag out. Let's have an examination of your food bag.
Okay. So, in this side is most of my camping gear. the ground sheet won't fit in. So first thing out is the ground sheet, and then camping gear.
You sure you didn't just stop at a Vinnie's bin?
So Denali -4 comfort, good sleeping bag. I have been toasty. I would have said that this X-Ped mat was good, but it's blown one of the tubes, so it's now got a goiter, so that needs to be replaced. Alumina tent,
Illuminati tent.
single malt whiskey, most important item. Poles, tent, pegs. So that's everything that's in that bag. It weighs 2.5 kilos for the tent, kilo for the drink, 1 point something, 1.2 or something for that. Similar weight for the X-Ped Sin Mat 7M. Won't be buying one of them again. And that's that bag empty. On this side we have cooking gear, chair, cooker, and tools which go on here when we're doing a day trip. So I just had that out because we were siphoning fuel to get Michael to Windora. So we'll have a look in there in a second. Let's have a look in the cooking bag. All the cooking stuff together. Oh, pillow. I got the big one. Plates. Headlamp. Essential coffee percolator, coffee grounds, clean up rags, coffee, 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 1 minute noodles, 2 minute noodles, spoon, fork, GoPro mount that hasn't been used for the Sony, peanuts for the side of the road, condiments, wasabi, mayonnaise, pickled ginger, vitamin C. Got to have cookies with your coffee, some jerky, great, nice hot jerky. And a bag of lollies that we haven't even opened yet, retro party mix, and the rest of it's muesli bars and cherry ripe. So
You got soy sauce and wasabi sauce.
Yeah. And mayonnaise. Yeah, gotta have it with you hot and spicy. But yeah, the rest of it's bars. This is actually tape. Some party mix, some silicone tape that bonds onto itself. So if you get a radiator hose problem, you can fix it with that.
Yeah, I got that in my tool. I got liquid metal and all that.
Yep. If you're getting calluses on your fingers, a little bit of 1,000 mile an hour tape. This tape is waterproof, and I use it for keeping the sides of my helmet thingy from rattling. And a bit of strapping tape. So if you have an injury, you can strap that up to give it a bit of support. So this is basically my tape bag with a few zip ties in it. That's all my camp gear. We've had a look at that, we've had a look inside that. Let's have a look at what I bring clothes-wise, shall we?
Where's your shopping cart?
Alright.
I had no idea.
Betoota Hotel.
You got the same shirt.
You
I
pick.
got the orange one.
Yeah, mine's white. I'm not that much into KTMs.
KTM colours. Thermals. Top. Merino top. So I've been wearing that almost every day while riding. Yep, still in the clean batch. And my Evade electric top. So it's got the battery pack in here. And you just press this. Choose what colour you need for your heating. Stuff like that. Not using it. This is a pretty worn out but still very warm Kathmandu jacket, worn out through the pockets. I couldn't afford the Toby Price fancy plaid shirt.
Didn't you get one when you went on the rally or something?
No,
What shirts did you get?
I should have bought my rally shirt. I forgot about that. And then just a top which, if you need to, you can put under your ride gear just to add a layer.
Yeah, you guys have bought a lot of clothes.
Yeah, but mine are nice clothes.
Thermal.
Not some homeless dude's clothes that you met under a bridge.
This
somewhere
is
in
he's
Broken
dead set rated a bag of clothes next to a lifeline bin. Have a look at it.
Come on, mate. This is what I wear day to day. These are my best clothes. Oh, this should be with my riding
He
gear.
spent all his money on his bike and he's had no money left over for clothes or gear.
One, two, three pairs of clean underpants.
Three pairs of
There's a
kids'
dirty pair in
underpants.
there. Charges for the electric gloves and the electric jacket. Pills.
Oh, pills are good.
Yeah.
Those pills.
One pair of socks. Still go in the clean one. There's one pair of riding socks with my riding gear, and these ones are for the knee braces. So I've got a total of 2 pairs of those. The actual t-shirt that I bought from the to sleep in ST2ST t-shirt. Yeah, well, this one does look a little bit like homeless.
Is that your chain cleaning rag?
This is merino. If you're freezing.
Yeah, we won't come back.
Headscarf.
It's got lightning holes in it to make it lighter.
Yep. Camping towel.
Wow, that's a small one.
And if it had been a seriously wet trip, these are waterproof socks, because my boots are not waterproof. Socks and undies we already had. That's it. So that all goes in this plastic bag. And next.
Just put all that back in your bag for a minute. I'm going to get my clothes out and show you the difference.
That shirt doesn't get me. Alright.
I had no idea. I had no idea you were homeless.
That's ridiculous. Here, hold this.
My God, that is like it's not even a good quality rubbish. You could have splashed
I
out
bought
on
the
a
rubbish bag, especially.
You could have
because
got
it
a
was
tough-
orange.
well, yeah. Yeah. Wow. I mean, yeah, you can see this stuff here is pretty good, but what is this? You know, I might have a lolly actually. How long have these been in here?
Here's the last strip.
Oh my goodness.
Whatever.
They're all stuck together. Yeah, just alright. Man.
Just seriously, like look at the volume of that.
Oh yeah. organised, you see. So you probably pretty much got about the same clothes, except yours is better quality without so many holes in it.
Yeah, well, this is what I said. This is the round the world kit, sort of. So I've got a pair of dress shorts and a light t-shirt out of it. They're a pair of sports socks for if I want to go for a walk.
Or a jog.
Nice cotton underpants to get into at the end of a long riding day. They're mesh lined, really light activity shorts. Play tennis, go for a hike, do whatever. So they go with that.
Where's your tennis racket?
Tennis.
Well, play whatever.
You'd have to rent one. You could probably bring one.
A sports polo shirt, so it's got a collar. You can wear it out to the pub or whatever you like, or you can sweat in it. It's quite nice. So that's the activity gear. Goes with those shorts. I got another t-shirt.
Are you, hang on, Moscow, are they contributing to this financially in any way?
No, mate, no.
They should be, because
Probably.
we've got a lot of their gear between us.
A pair of sleep shorts / swim trunks by Speedo. What have we got here? That's a pair of activity underpants. They're like the pool table ones. They got the ball pocket in the inside. A pair of regular socks and a pair of long pants with a belt.
Hang on. Those look like they match.
Okay.
The shorts and the longs.
Well,
They're matching.
If I do have a pair of convertibles, which I
Yes.
could. These would be.
And what are these things on your feet called again?
They're just me me slip-on shoes. You can not put the heel in and just be like that, and just have like slip-ons. You can wear them in clothes with a pair of socks. They're like nice and warm, and you can wear them in the water when you go swimming. So to that, I add my cold pack when it's going to be cold, which just adds a puffy parka. This most of my other convertible pants, this brand is Cool. They make really nice travel gear. Light.
And where is this available? What shops? Any good hunting outdoor shops?
Oh, Wild Earth sells it. There's you can buy it online. Yeah, flannel shirt, take your price. Pair of tracky pants, good thermal socks, and a beanie for wearing out, and just another one. Again, Cool, with ear flaps. So if you, so that just adds that. And if it's not cold, this doesn't come.
Yeah.
Because you've got a bike jacket that you can put on.
Yeah.
I've got an electric jacket that I can put on. But this is just for when it's cold. You've got something if you want to go out for dinner that you can dress up nice. I'm not walking around in my underpants around the fire like old mate over here the other day.
Yeah. Well, that was.
One time.
You shouldn't have been
Spot
mentioning
on.
that.
Yeah, so this is a plug-in 12-volt electric heated jacket with a remote on the bars. So, when we come down and we're doing 500 k's and it was 18 degrees on
It
the
was
highway,
cold,
we're doing
yeah.
110.
I was a little jealous that day. Yeah.
I'm toasty as.
Yeah.
I had to turn mine up to medium.
Yeah. I didn't. Yeah. I don't even have heated grips.
This is a heated base layer, same as the Evade. It's just, you're going to bring a thermal base layer, so it doesn't take much. You bring in a battery pack anyway, so that doesn't take much to add in. So when you're standing up, when you're not doing that sit-down stuff, it works really well. Cold riding gloves, merino thermals. So I had them on when we left Arkaroola and we came up the Strzelecki track. And they're 100% merinos. And then I've got another set of off-road bomber gloves, but in reality I could have left these at home. They're quite similar to the other ones. I do have full Gore-Tex rain gloves in the rain gear. And then with my riding gear, I'm a hot person and I sweat a lot. So I don't like to be in stinky shit.
He's a sweater.
I'm a sweater. So, yeah.
Moscow Moto riding shirt.
Yeah.
That's Moscow Moto.
They're the rain liner to my pants. I brought them in case it was really cold. Could have left it at home. I've got another couple of jerseys, the one I was wearing before. So I bring 4 and then I wash. Good old Aldi socks, they work quite well if you can pick them up. I've got a pair of waterproof socks for just in case we did do, because I've got Gore-Tex boots. If you get water in them, they're never coming out, so that keeps your feet warm. And then I've got 4 pairs of riding underpants. These ex officio pants are amazing for riding. They're a mesh, synthetic. They've got a mesh in them, and they just keep you comfortable, chafe-free, dry all day.
Plenty of room
day.
for the meat and 2 veg.
Yeah, and then just a super light pair of Cool Max extras.
So I've actually got less gear than you.
Yeah, but
yours
because it's
looks
packed
like
efficiently, it
yeah.
probably weighs more, but yours is a dog's breakfast.
Yours looks
It's all in one place.
yeah.
Yeah, but
It's not a homeless man's rummage sale. Like it's all.
But it's smaller now than all of that.
No, if you put all these together, they'd fit in there.
yeah.
It's got my shoes in it as well. You got shoes.
Yeah.
He's got more.
But I didn't have to buy clothes on the
So
road because
what-
all my shit stinks. Or
I didn't buy it.
it's in the bottom of a trash bag.
I didn't buy it because it stinks. I bought it because we're staying at the Betoota hotel.
All right. So
I don't
either way,
smell like you.
so whatever. We've all got gear. We've all got different.
Yeah.
I've gone super
so
light.
This would be my heaviest bag, which I would say is 11, maybe 12 kilos.
That was scientific.
Well, I know how heavy a 20 kilo gear bag is that you can check in. So I'll happily weigh this. This has got 2 litres of water in it as well. So I thought this was 10 kilos and the other 2 are under 10 kilos. So far, if we want to come around and have a look at the cheap bags.
Oh yes. Let's have a look at these cheap Chinese knockoffs of a knockoff.
So I've got these $280 Wild Heart 18 litre bags, which so far none of the stitching has come off, which I was sort of worried about, and they haven't done anything untoward and seem okay. So far.
No, they're hanging in there.
I've got the 11 litre fuel bladder.
That's a what's that? A liquid containment one?
Liquid
Is,
containment, Jerry's. And this is my tool bag, which
Yeah. It's got some tools in it.
So let's see. So that's
Oh, yeah, we actually
the
use that.
hose which we used today, which we've added a wire inside so that we can thread it down the side to get down into the bowels of the 790.
Yes, it was quite tough getting it down into here where the fuel is.
So tools, including wheel spanner and everything with the KTM set, plus a set of Torx, and I wouldn't say you do a whole rebuild, but front tube,
You got 2 tubes? You got a back one?
rear
Yeah.
tube, rags for doing a oil change, tools, a bag of lollies, because if you're doing an oil change on the side of the road, you deserve those.
Or a tyre change, more likely.
Tyre change, yeah. And moto pressor.
Little air compressor.
Do not skimp on an air compressor.
Yeah,
Buy the cheap one, you're going to end up buying one of these.
yeah.
So this just plugs into the 12 volt Anderson plug or whatever they're called on the bike.
SAE connector.
SAE plug. And
Society of what is it? Something.
The hot tip, don't leave your air compressor running in the dirt while it fills your tyre up, because then it dies.
hang it.
Yeah.
So,
So
so I've got a patch kit with fresh cement and patches. The Ballard's tools, which also have the tools for undoing nuts and bolts. The little tool for
it's like a bead buddy.
bead buddy, keeping it
Yeah.
from starting, and the puller for your
Yeah, those are key.
tube, which makes life much easier on the side of the road. So I go with medium duty tubes,
Yeah,
not heavy duty and not ultra heavy duty, which are like carrying another tyre, and keep them in bags so that they're not rubbing on anything. Because that last time I did a repair, put a tube in that these have been rubbing on, and it rubbed a hole through. So they lasted a whole 10 kilometres into
Was that in Flinders or something? Was it?
Flinders,
Yeah. Oh, is that what happened?
Then had to change it the next day.
Yeah.
So just keep the pointy ends in there of all of this stuff, so it's not rubbing on anything. And when we do a day trip, that is all I strap on the back.
Yeah.
So I've got what's in here. So I've got tools, compressor, tubes, and siphon hose, which comes with the bike, and that's it. So that's a bit of a wrap up of the 3 bikes gear. I don't own a scale, so I'll actually borrow the neighbours when I get home, and I'll
I've got 2 actual, both digital hanging scales that I weighed mine with.
Yeah, but
You can borrow.
but when I get home I'll weigh. Definitely that's the bigger weight. So Michael's packed his up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's in the
Well,
ballpark.
he's got more clothes than you though. He's bigger than you too. You know what I mean? You're not much to look at. I mean, you're only a little fella.
Yeah, you got little kids' clothes.
Yeah.
I've got man-sized
yeah.
clothes.
You know, you got to ride with what you brung.
Yeah.
So that's third gear, $75 bag, $180 bags, and $129 tank bag. So you know, $370 worth of bags total. Just to see. Oh, plus the fuel bladder, and my homemade racks.
Oh, yeah.
So these racks are just bent up. I went from 12 mil, I upgraded to 15 mil, and these are, when I fell the other day, it dented it and we tried to pull it back. These are also quite quick access for getting the seat on and off, so they're easy to get to the seat, quick to come on and off, and other than the first day, I haven't had to adjust anything on them. I wouldn't say do it for everyone, for every situation, and I wouldn't like to take a fall on them. I would imagine that would not end as well as with the Moscow bags. But as an experiment of doing this, what I would probably prefer is the racks from Dolby Moto, which are forward and in close, so I'll have a look at those some stage. But that's a wrap on the gear, what we're carrying.
Yeah, well, and you can see that we've all got quite different stuff
Different
that
approaches,
we bought. Yeah.
different stuff, but we've all been comfortable in camp. No one's
Yeah.
been cold, everyone's had what we need, we've eaten well.
Yeah, and we all travel about the same, and we pull up and we're all within 5 minutes of each other.
Yeah.
So no one's really lagging. I've been taking it a bit easy, but
Yeah.
the Willy Wagtails were giving me a sign the other day, so got to listen to the universe when it talks.
Yeah, it's true.
And we're here in beautiful downtown Betoota.
There's a
Where
bit
would
of
you-
a
Where would you rather be?
traffic jam yesterday.
Yeah. And looks like we're going to be here again tonight. So
It is looking that way.
we're
There's
waiting for a fuel truck.
worse places to be stuck.
New resident.
So here's my drone. I'm going to take this thing for a rip here in a minute. So yeah, it's a pain in the ass to bring, but man, you get some crazy footage. So we'll get that spliced together somehow, and it's a lot of fun.
I reckon we can swim in that lake over there.
I don't see why not.
I brought me togs. It'd be a shame to bring them all this way and not use them.
I got mine.
There you go for a swim.
I'd have to go in the nude because I didn't bring any.
I got a spare pair of shorts, mate.
No, I want to go in the nude.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, we better turn this off.